I'm Mike the Broda, and this is Therapy Talk. After years of providing drilling equipment solutions, I know that a project success hinges on reliable, high-quality rigs that meet your needs. So if you're ready to make smarter equipment decisions and build stronger foundations, let's get started. Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Mike the Broda here with TerraQuip Talk. This is the podcast where we're trying to give a voice to our industry. And with this podcast, I'm trying to talk equipment, case studies, projects, and of course, people. In one of the previous episodes, I had one of the main guys from Marini, Rod Zaninetti, the sales director. Now we have his brother, Fabio Zaninetti. He's more on the servicing side of things. So welcome, Fabio.
Thank you, Mike.
Now, as I was saying, Luca is more on the commercial side of things. He looks after sales. He travels all over the world to see clients, to develop the business, right? To take Marini where it needs to be. You are on the other side. You're supporting the company with basically the entire after-sales department. And another thing that you do is you travel all over the world as well, like your brother. But after he sells the equipment, you travel to commission, to start up, to help dealers if they have, let's say, a sticky problem that they need to go through and to fix. You help with that. And one of the main reasons why Fabio is here with us, that's why I got the opportunity, is because he came to help us with commissioning two mast attachments, an MRA 150 and an MRA 300, which we're going to talk about it a little bit later in the episode. But because he came to Australia, I said, wow, this is a great opportunity. Let's get you on the podcast. Let's talk about it. Let's have a friendly discussion. So this MRA 300 has been installed on a 26-ton excavator. It's got a rod loader. It's got a Eurodrill drifter, which is a very powerful, performant drifter from Eurodrill from Germany. But at the same time, we also do our own drifters with Marini, just for the smaller side of things. But we'll get to that in a second. We'll talk a little bit more about the technical stuff. For now, I'm really curious, how did you start in Marini? How was your journey?
So I started 15 years ago, more or less.
Okay.
So
we're very similar. I started pretty much the same time in the drilling industry. Okay.
So I just started in the factory, assembling the pneumatic motors at the beginning, then just start with the pneumatic rigs, then move to the wire saw that are used more in the quarries.
In the quarries section, yeah.
And then on the hydraulic, and that is the thing that kept me more interested, okay, the hydraulic things and that stuff. And then at the same time, I just start going out with my father at the beginning to visit clients and sometimes doing some sales, but it's not for me, sales. I don't like it.
I was just going to ask, were you going more for the business development side of the business, or you're going for the after sale?
At the beginning, it was more for sales, but then it wasn't good. I
didn't
wasn't
resonate
good.
with you.
Exactly. And so I just focused myself on the service and even to try to find a solution for the clients. So when they have some special requests or something like that, we just try to find a solution for them.
So in some way, you also focused on the sales side of things, because sometimes you have to come up with solutions. And this is what is great about Marini, guys, by the way. They don't just provide an off-the-shelf product. When you've got a problem, you got a project that you need to do and you need a purposely built machine, they don't shy away from that. They speak with Fabio, they speak with your technical department, they speak with Luca, and they give us a machine that's suitable for your project, which is great. Can you talk a little bit about that? How does that process look for you guys? I know how it looks for me from the dealer side, but how does it look for you inside of the company?
Yeah, of course. First of all, we got the request from the sales department, from the client, and then from the sales department. We just do an evaluation. What can we do? And we consider that with our office. We got 3 engineers working
with the technical office.
Yeah, with the technical office. Then, okay, if the sale guy sell the machine, so we just start that. We start the project, really. We do all the all the hydraulic diagrams, electric diagrams inside in our facility. And then we just start the production of the drilling rig. For example, a pneumatic rig is around 90% produced inside. So we just buy the material and then we work it, we weld it, we assemble it, we paint it inside, we do everything inside till the end, till the test, basically.
You mentioned a little bit earlier that you were going out and you were working with your dad Can you talk a little bit more about that experience? How was it working with basically the founder of the company?
Yeah.
But also being your dad.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little bit hard, especially at the beginning, because I have to wake up early in the morning, because he always want to be at the job site at the same time that the people start working, or most of the time before.
Or before,
them, yeah. And leaving after. So it means stay awake for maybe 18, 20 hours a day. If you start doing that since the beginning, it's pretty easy. Now I'm happy, yeah. I'm used to that, so I'm happy today.
It builds a certain character, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And how was it from the perspective, let's say, you're the son of the owner of the company. There were, I'm sure, certain pressures on you to learn and to perform in a certain way.
Yeah,
how
exactly.
did that feel for you?
That pressure was not from my father. It was from myself, basically.
Correct.
He's always said to me, if you do it, you have to do it well, better than the others. But not because you are my son, because you have
just
to do that.
because you want to do it,
exactly.
And because you want to be good at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever had any sort of friction from, let's say, any colleagues about?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really, no. I'm happy about it. I learn a lot from my colleagues, and I'm still learning a lot from them, because we got a lot of specialists inside. Especially when I just started 15 years ago, I didn't know anything about mechanics and that stuff. I was at school, but I didn't learn a lot about mechanics. I was at geotechnical school. It was not easy for me at the beginning, especially at the beginning.
You guys cover a lot of projects and a lot of different types of equipment, not only drilling equipment, but also, as you said, you do a lot for the quarry industry.
Yeah.
Is this how you started first, more on the quarry side of things, to go out and visit clients and perform, let's say, your own commissioning, startup, troubleshooting?
Yeah.
Or was it more on the drilling side?
It was more on the quarry. Okay, in quarrying, we produce a machine for dimensional stone quarry. So at the beginning, it was in Italy, in the north of Italy. And then at the same time, my father just pushed to start going more and more in the civil engineering, because the quarry market was not really good at that moment. It was around 2008, 2009. So you can imagine how was it.
Everything went down, yeah, absolutely.
And so we just start to focus more in the civil engineering, especially on the mast attachment at the beginning. And then with our completely produced drilling rig, crawler rigs. And then now today I can say we got basically three main lines. So it's micro drilling, micro and medium diameter, large diameter, and acrobatic rigs. That is what we do.
By acrobatic means, he means the skid mounted rigs. For those of you out there that they don't know, the skid mounted rigs, which you see them drilling on the side of the mountain, like an A, or sometimes they call them A-frame rigs.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's very interesting, and it's definitely something that it's very impressive about Marini, and that is the broad range of products and how much of the world you guys cover with those products in our industry. Speaking of that, and you have to go to like different countries and different cultures, different time zone as well, like now in Australia. Yeah. How is it for you? You've been doing this for how many years?
Now I think it's 12 years, more or less, I'm doing that after learn how to do my job in the factory.
So it took you about 3 years before you started traveling by yourself.
I mean, start traveling far away by myself, because I already started traveling Europe. But Europe, it's pretty easy. We live in Europe, so Switzerland, France, it's really close to us. So I just start going. My first trip was in Syria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 5 days before the war.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was quite strange, that for me.
In what sense? Were you concerned that something's going to happen? Or
I didn't really realize. I said, maybe it's normal here. I don't know.
Because you felt that some tension there.
Yeah, I felt some tension. See young guys with guns and that stuff. I said, what is going on here?
But you just put it on the fact
everybody was relaxed and nobody was normal for them. And I said, okay, it's like this, travel for work.
You just put it on a different, being a different culture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I said, oh, what is going on here? But I thought that was normal. there, but at the end it wasn't.
Hey, before we continue with our episode, I just want to say, if you're someone that shares our passion for drilling, you have experience and you want to tell your story right here at TerraQuip Talk, we would be more than happy to have you, even if you're someone from a company that doesn't use our equipment. Now back to the episode.
That was my first trip. Then I travel a lot in Saudi Arabia, in Egypt for quarry at the beginning. And today I'm traveling more to the United States, Canada, Australia, as in more for the civil engineering, because it's more a different market.
So when did that transition happen where Marini started focusing more on the drilling rather than the quarry?
I think more or less 8 years ago, something like that, around, because at the beginning we just had few models for the civil engineering, so it was good for our market next to us, but we cannot give to a dealer. Okay, a dealer cannot survive with us. There was not enough models for a dealer to push on the market. We didn't have the crawler rigs, the piling rigs as well.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Speaking a little bit about the hydraulic pneumatic engineering, and especially when you talk about Italy and Switzerland as well, because you guys are right at the border there with Switzerland. Yeah. So a lot of the people, they have the mentality of the Swiss people. When we talk about quality, Italy is known for high precision engineering, hydraulic, pneumatic, and stuff like that. But there are voices out there that say that not only in Italy, by the way, but also in Germany, in Europe in general, that the quality standards have gone down a little bit.
Not for everybody. I think we have to find the good suppliers who giving us support as well, who deliver the material on time and guarantee us the same quality as before. So we are working with basically mostly Italian and German manufacturers. I can say so far everything is going good and we got a really good quality. Imagine before send out a rig, we got always 6 hours of test, okay, on a standard rig. If we do a prototype, we test it for more or less 100 hours. And then we give it to a customer that is close to us to test it a little bit more, maybe 6 months or something like that.
Okay, that's
just
interesting.
To be sure when we develop a piece of equipment, that everything is working good, everything is right.
That's actually quite interesting. Let's relook at it for a second. If there's a rig that you guys have built many models of, as soon as it's finished, it's coming off the assembly line, let's say, it's ready to go, stickers on, everything.
Yeah.
You have 6 to 8 hours to go through. And just play with it, or actually drill with it?
We drill with it.
Actually drill. Yeah. You put rods on it and
exactly.
you install it. And
Okay. We got a test area out of the factory, and we test all our rigs.
Okay.
Always, because we want to be sure.
And if there's a prototype, you try to test it for how many hours?
Around 100 hours.
Around 100 hours in-house?
Yeah.
And then you send it to someone that's nearby,
say,
either in Switzerland or
test
Italy.
Test it for 6 months or something like that. It depends. Maybe 3 months is enough because he is working a lot with that rig. But basically, we want to reach around 500 hours just to before put it on the market.
Before putting it on the market, yeah. No, that makes sense. And this is what we notice as well, guys, with the equipment from Marini. Not only because I sell them, but out of all the suppliers that I have, Marini is the one that I get the least amount of phone calls for in terms of after sales, warranty problems, or backup. Yeah, we get phone calls for spare parts, but that's just a normal wear and tear. In general, Marini sustains a very good high quality standard, which is fantastic. And that's why you guys are famous for your MR series, the drilling masts. They can be retrofitted on excavators, spiders, or telehandlers even. Just quickly, need reliable drilling equipment for your next project? At TerraQuip Drilling Equipment, we offer tailored solutions with top-tier support to meet your project needs. Contact us using the links in the show notes to find the perfect equipment for your drilling project. Now back to the episode. Let's talk a little bit about the features, and especially this MRA 300, which is the reason why we're here in Queensland, in Australia, to install this. What we did is we installed it together with the client, and then the client had the compressor, the rods, and a big block of concrete where we showed the operator the controls, but more than just showing him the controls, we actually drilled holes So let's talk a little bit about this, Fabio. The carousel. That's one feature that's very unique in our industry on a mast attachment.
Yeah, the carousel, it's a good thing because first of all, it's safe for the operator because the operator don't need to be close to the mast when he's drilling, when he has to load the rod on the mast. First thing is that one. Second thing is it's better for the operator also because he don't have to lift up heavy rods or something like that. So because are already installed on the carousel. Of course, the operator has always to be careful using the operator carousel because
he needs to make sure that he aligns the rods right with the carousel or with the head.
Yeah, we got some switches, some limit switch that avoid wrong movements from them, but he have to be careful in any case.
He still has to pay a lot of attention, the way he moves. Absolutely. Now, why do you think that Marini is one of the only ones that build a rod carousel on a mast attachment? Because there's not many out there that do this sort of feature.
We got one thing that is we always try to follow our customers. We give them a hand. So we got a lot of requests of a carousel on that. At the beginning,
you were hesitant to do it,
because of the weight, first of all, because it depends about. Sometimes we got customers just ask us for a carousel and they want to install it on a 5-ton excavator. So there is no chance to do that. So
because of the weight and the balancing.
Exactly. It's also you have to find the right customer to do that, and also because our masts are pretty strong, so there is no problem to install that. So we are not too heavy, but strong enough at the same time, so we can install that carousel on the mast attachment. And the other thing is how we manage that, because we got a PLC inside. And we can do everything in the PLC. We can program that. Some competitors, they use just a relay. It's not easy to install a carousel. You don't have anything that is smart inside in that.
Yeah. So being programmable and choosing your functions and assigning them to whichever button you want, that allows you to introduce more functions and more features, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's really cool. Another important feature is the fact that we can do the fast conversion between top hammer versus downhole hammer. Can you talk a little bit about this, please?
Yeah, on this rig, we installed an Euro drill head. So at the moment is configured as a drifter, but in 2 hours of work, you can convert it as a rotary head. About the clamp, you can install casing up to 300 mil diameter. Or you can use the drifter to drill hollow bars.
Self-drilled anchors,
Self-drilled anchors, R51, T76, as we tried today with the client. So it's pretty, I don't know how to say.
Versatile.
Versatile, yeah, exactly. Thank you. So that is the main point to install that, and is also really light. If we compare the weight of the hammer, of the drifter we installed there, and the performance, it's really light. That's why we installed it.
So the weight to performance ratio is incredible. Yeah. Now, another thing that I wanted you to develop a little bit and talk a little bit about is the conversion between, you said it's about 2 hours of work. What exactly do operators need to do in order to convert from a top hammer to a downhole hammer?
So they have to remove the shock absorber of the shank as well, the drifter, so the hammer, the central part, the part that hammer the shank, and then they go to install another shaft with a shock absorber, different one, and just the injection head at the top. So it's really easy and fast to do that conversion.
Now, a lot of the things that we try to do with our mast attachments is, of course, like support. We try to build them with the specifications and make them custom build for our clients, make them tailor-made, basically. Another important feature on this, besides the, let's say, all the advantages, such as the, let's say, integral steel mast structure rather than aluminum, like some of our competitors, or energy chain, for example, to have the hoses nicely, neatly put on a support, the flashing head, the swivel, the high pressure pump as well that you can install on them. Besides this stuff, what we try to do is help our clients with the installation as well. Let's talk a little bit about the installation. So they have the excavator, they want to install the mast attachment, right?
Yeah.
What sort of specifications, let's talk actual technical, what sort of specifications do they need to have in order to install it? What are the steps?
Yeah. First of all, you have to check if you got enough oil flow. Then is the back pressure. That is really important to check.
What does it mean enough oil flow? Let's talk about the MRA 300. How much
on
oil
the
flow do we need
MRA
for
300, to have the 100% of the performance, we need 180 liters at 220 bar per minute. Yeah.
At 220 bar?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's on the fitting line. Then
on the return, we accept maximum 12 bar, and it's already a lot for a return line. And at the same time, you have to check if the cooling system can perform and cooling enough the oil.
But you don't really have many excavators nowadays. They don't have enough. Do you?
On the smaller, yeah.
On the smaller side.
Imagine, for example, on a spider excavator that is 15 ton, more or less. The amount of oil is the same that we required on the MRA 300 we installed today. So it's a lot of oil for a small excavator. On the biggest excavator, yeah, you don't have any problem. But on the small excavator, sometimes, yeah. So that is one thing that you have to check. The customer has to check always. And one really important thing is the boom. Don't have to fall down. The cylinder, when you are drilling, must stay there and not moving at all. So we always suggest to install the over-center valves on each cylinder.
Of the excavator?
Of the excavator, yeah.
On the deeper end of the boom as well?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's very important.
And then we need the electric line that is always 24 volt
24
on
volts,
our
yeah.
rigs. If you got an excavator that is 12 volt, we can
You got to get a converter.
The converter, yeah.
Talking about equipment, what's your favorite type of equipment to work on Marini?
It's a tough question. I think the mast attachment, it's really good, but now I can say for me, my favorite one is the C35.
MRC 35,
MRC 35. That is my favorite because it's, I don't know, it's compact, it's small, but can do big things.
Is that the reason why you guys sold the most?
Yeah.
This is the most sold model,
yeah, exactly.
right? Yeah, which is something that we still have in stock as well. It's available for hire or for sale as well, for direct sale. It looks like a very powerful unit, and we can't wait to see it in action as well. Now, what does Marini have in store for the next 5 years? I'm sure you guys always debate, what are we going to do next? Yes, it's great we got to this point, but what are we going to do here?
Yeah, we want to grow a little bit on every different sector, big diameter, medium, and small diameters. So now we are looking for the beginning of next year for a pneumatic remote control rig. So one MRA, but completely pneumatic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So a mast attachment fully pneumatic?
The mast attachment, yeah. And then we will see to have another rig with a removable power pack for limited access that goes just next to the MRC 30 and something bigger also for the macro piles. We just came out with the MRP 750 this year, so we need time to do something new for that market.
I spoke in one of the previous episodes about the ability to convert the MRP 750 to an anchoring rig, basically, like a very large anchoring, giving you the ability to do quite large diameter. What sort of micropiles do you think we can achieve with that machine? In terms of like the depth and the diameter, what sort of micropiles?
So the diameter, basically, the only limit is the clamp that you install, the diameter that can pass through the clamps. The depth, it depends a lot about the soil, but I don't think you really will have a limit for that because the torque is really high, the crowd as well. So I don't think there is anybody want to do a micropile that deep as we can go.
They're going to have a limit to
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
What is the feedback so far? I believe the MRP 750 went to a British customer.
Yeah.
What's the feedback so far? Has it been on the job site?
Not yet. It's in the yard of the client. They had a lot of customer going there because now is the winter there, so the work is just slowing down. they had a lot of good feedback, the stability, and also what we can do inside in the cab, because we got a big screen and we can program all the joystick as the client wants. We can reverse the command, we can do a lot of stuff.
Okay, that's very interesting. And so far, has it gone in Kelly or CFA?
CFA.
In CFA, yeah. I think it's gonna perform really well. UK is definitely a really good place to drill CFA.
Yeah.
You have that clay, not a lot of rock, which is good. Not a lot of vibrations on the machine, yeah. But still, it's gonna be a good test, I'm sure. Now, for a more funny part of the episode, we're trying to introduce a new part here. We're gonna ask you quickly some questions and tell us. It's like a this for that sort of game. So you're just gonna answer fast. Don't think too much about it. What's your favorite, tracks or tires?
Tracks.
Pneumatic or hydraulic?
Hydraulic.
Remote control or pivot alarm with actual levers?
Remote control, 100%.
What if in Australia we always have the problem? And some companies are like, no, I don't want any remote controls, because they always leave it on the tracks and they and they crush them. What do you say to that?
We sell spare parts.
Yeah, get another remote control. Yeah. All right, coring or anchoring?
Anchoring.
Self-drill anchors or micropiles?
Self-drill anchors.
Food, Italian or French?
Italian, of course. 100%.
Espresso or cappuccino?
Espresso. Yeah.
All good. Before we wrap this episode up, I can't believe it's almost time to wrap this up. Is there anything else that you want to share with us? Maybe about your experience with TerraQuip?
I'm excited to work with you guys. Yeah, really, a really good team. And you are a nice family, I can say. It's not easy to find a group that is like you.
That pulls in the same direction is dedicated. I'm really glad to hear that. And yeah, that's exactly my target at TerraQuip, where I always refer to my guys, as a family. Fabio, thank you so much.
Thanks to you.
Appreciate your time, man. So guys, that's it. We're wrapping up another episode. We had here Fabio from Marini. He's the service guy. He's the service guru, the after-sales guru. It's been a pleasure, Fabio. Thank you. Now, what are we going to do in the next few episodes? We're going to have more people coming over. So we have spots filling up quickly. So please let us know if you want to be part of the show. I'll be more than happy to have you. Even if you're someone that's from a company that doesn't really work with our equipment, I'm still happy to have you. I'm always happy to hear different ideas and different experience. So please hit me, send me a DM, and I'll try to respond as quick as possible. Until next time, please remember, if it's not turning, you're not earning. Thanks for tuning in to TerraQuip Talk. If you enjoyed this episode, the best way to support us is by leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube so you never miss an episode. You can also find out more from me on all social media platforms. The links are below. Until then, remember, if it's not turning, you're not earning.